All right, all right. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Dr. Cece Says, the Freedom Edition. So, if you all tuned in last week, we are having guests on Dr. CC Says, and I am excited about it. And we are having guests because we are gearing up for the Free Before 40 Women's Conference, which will be held on Sunday, October 16th, 2022, in the Baltimore area. If you all can get here, be here. I'm telling you, not just because I'm the one that created it. I'm telling you, God is going to do some amazing stuff at this conference, y'all. And I'm so excited. So excited. So, y'all, we have Niki Jordan, the Confidence Concierge, in the building tonight. And I am so excited. Hey, sis.
Hey sis, what's up?
Yes. So before we jump in, because me and Nikki can talk all night, okay? So before we jump in, let me
Because
just get
I'm gonna have to like reel it back. Like I'm gonna have to
yeah.
do it.
But it's fine. It's fine. Look, be you. That's why I got you on here.
Amen.
So so I'm gonna do a little housekeeping for a minute.
Okay. Okay.
So like I told y'all last week, we are using StreamYard tonight. We are streaming to Facebook Live and LinkedIn Live. So y'all, we
Yeah, I
real
was trying to
fancy.
like send mine over so it goes to mine.
Okay, yeah, go on and do that.
Okay.
So y'all, we real fancy, right? But as always, I want y'all to act like you always act. Drop hello in the chat. Let me know that you are here. Ask us questions. Drop your comments, whatever as Nikki is giving us some awesome answers to these questions I'm gonna ask. If it sparks something in you, drop it in the chat. We want this to continue to be interactive. Okay. So,
Yeah.
y'all, I'm gonna tell you a little bit about the Confidence Concierge. Okay, Nikki is imaginative. She's creative and alluring, known for her passion to push young adults toward their purpose. And I would also add in there, not just young adults, y'all. She also is known to push adults and older adults towards their purpose. Okay. Hey, I see Kevin is on. Hey,
Hey
honey.
Kim, that's my friend right there. That is my
Yeah,
real
that's your friend. But yeah, Nikki with a BA in sociology, her steadfast faith, her drive, and her ambition, all of that helps her garner the attention of these young minds. And so Nikki is an educator as well as an entrepreneur. And so y'all, she's in these schools, she is blessing the kids. Okay. So y'all already know that's a
friend. Mine
blessing
too.
right there. And through her organization, Confidence at Any Size, Nikki helps women ascertain their inner beauty without the validation of others. And y'all, that part is real important. Now, I'm not going to tell her whole story. I'm going to leave some of it for her to tell because I know she's going to talk about it tonight. But Nikki dedicates her life to making sure all women know their true worth. Demonstrating leadership and humility, her works are powerful and intentional, and she is seeking to touch the soul and impact the life of every woman she encounters. And y'all, let me just throw in here what I love about Nikki is that you can feel the confidence leaping off of her when she enters the room. Okay. My first time meeting her in person, because I knew her a little bit like through Zoom and through phone calls and everything. But my first time seeing her in person, I was like, yeah, she's the confidence concierge. That's exactly who she is. She understands the importance of kids and teens developing confidence early, as well as adults having a good amount of confidence. So she definitely is the confidence concierge. So, sis, before we jump into these questions, anything you want to add?
I mean, I don't think there's anything left to add. That was amazing. You did great. Thank you so
Mhm,
much. I was like, oh
mhm.
man, she's talking about me. Like, yes, me, go me.
Yes, I love it. I love it. I love it. I see I got another one of my sisters on here. Kendra, hey, honey.
Hi,
Yes,
Kendra.
yes. So, sis, let's jump in.
Okay,
And
let's do it. You know, I'll stay
what
ready.
Yes, and if you stay ready, you ain't
You
got to
ain't gotta get
get
ready.
ready.
Hey.
Exactly. Hey. So what does freedom mean to you?
Okay, so freedom to me. Now, when I knew you were gonna ask me this question, and legitimately I was struggling with the answer because I didn't have the answer in words per se. I had the answer more visually. So I'm a visual learner. I like pictures, movies, TV's my thing. If you ever hear me talk in my story, I'll talk about how I love TV and kind of mimic myself after TV when I was younger and stuff like that. So TV is my thing, movies and stuff like that. So when I can't get the words, I have a visual. So
Okay.
I'm gonna give you words, but I'm also gonna give you the visual. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so here we go. Okay, so the words, I wrote them down. Hold on. Words, I wrote them down. So, freedom to me is being completely free from bondage in the heart, mind, and spirit, along with allowing God to freely flow in my life and embrace all He has for me, and not control and not try to control the uncontrollable.
Okay.
Okay. So I feel like the epitome of that is like that serenity prayer, like God give me the power to not control things, or however that prayer
Right.
goes. It's like in
Right.
the
Accept the things I cannot change.
there it is, there it is. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? And the power to know the difference, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so for me, the visual, I see myself, not myself, but have you ever watched like a movie where like a superhero that was like a little kind of quirky, and they turn around and they see the people coming, and they turn around and like bye bye, and they just like go backwards off of the building, like free flowing, falling off the building with a
Mhm.
smile on their face.
Yeah. Yeah.
So to me, that's what freedom looks like.
Mm. So
Because go ahead.
I just heard some in there. So not only is it the ability to like escape, but
Yes.
it sounds like it's also this kind of like resting in knowing that you're gonna be fine.
Resting and knowing I'm gonna be fine, even though I have no control because now I'm free falling. I know
Mhm.
I'm gonna be okay.
Mm.
I know
Mm.
I know something under there is gonna catch me. I know someone's gonna scoop me up. I know that there's gonna be a parachute. I know whatever that is, whatever it is, I know that if I meet my demise, I'm still gonna be okay. Because
Mm.
what's waiting for me on the other side is even more glorious than what's on this side.
Yeah.
So I can literally free fall with a smile on my face.
Mm.
And that's the visual that I get every time. That's all I get in my mind.
Yeah. When you said that, I thought about like that trust fall,
Mhm.
that people will do kind of with the like relationship bonding or whatever.
Yes.
Right. And it's this idea that someone has you.
Yes.
And so you can just you can do that trust fall.
Right.
Yeah. Kendra said, trust in what God has for you. Exactly. Exactly.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then the fact of like you're falling backwards, you're not even falling forward so you can see what it's about to be. You're falling
Mm,
backwards so you have no idea what's coming, but you know it's gonna
mhm,
be okay.
mm, mm.
So that's what the visual, that's my visual of
Mm.
freedom.
So you preaching real good already. Already, already, because and you didn't know that this conversation was gonna go this way, right?
No,
But
no, but I know I had to give honest answers. I was like, I know she's gonna ask me about what freedom is, and I don't have the words. Like, but I only have this picture. How can I give this to her?
listen, but that picture is powerful, right? Because
Yeah,
again, like we both have gotten so much just out of your picture, out of that image, and
yeah.
I'm sure people are dropping comments. People are getting stuff out of that too. Hey, Felicia. Yeah. So one other thing that I got out of that, look, that was just for me, okay?
Oh, hey,
Just
glory.
for me.
Yeah.
We were talking about the conference. And
Okay.
you were asking me like, oh, how I'm doing, like how's ticket sales and all of that. And I'm like,
Yes.
things are going great.
Man.
And either way, I know God got me.
Either
And
way.
either way, I know he got me. Right. And so I can do this free fall
Yes.
and
Yes.
with a smile. Yeah.
Yes. And not a lot of people know. So, I'm the confidence concierge, and not a lot of people know. And I'm also a woman of very strong faith. And I believe in the Lord, and I know He has me, and all this kind of stuff. People don't realize how much the Bible actually really speaks about confidence.
Mm,
One of my like companies like scriptures or taglines is Hebrews 10:35.
mhm.
So don't throw off your confidence so that you can have great reward. So because your confidence is what brings you the great reward.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it Bible talks about having confidence in Jesus. It talks about having confidence in God, know, trusting, all that kind of stuff that we may know and have confidence in Him. So the Bible talks about confidence a lot. And
Mm,
through that confidence that we have in the Lord, through that confidence we have in the gifts that He has placed within us and our abilities and doing the work that He has set us out to do, then we can free fall with a smile on our face because we know that we're, as the kids would say, we in our bag. We're doing
right,
what we're supposed to do. I can free fall with a smile on my face because I know I'm doing what I'm supposed to do.
right. Because I'm in alignment.
I'm in alignment.
Yeah. And that also gives us or brings us to freedom, right?
Yes.
Because if you're walking the way that you're supposed to walk, then
Yes.
look, you don't have to be burdened down by worries. You don't have to be burdened down by,
Absolutely.
all of the things that come with our emotions, right? You
Right.
don't have to be moved by all of that stuff because you know you're walking in alignment, you're doing what you're supposed to do. And
100%.
freedom comes with that. Yeah, that's good stuff.
100%. 100%.
Yeah, yeah, I like that. And when you were talking about confidence in the Bible, we've had that conversation before.
Mhm.
It's amazing because people, and I'm just gonna talk about the folks I know, okay?
Okay.
The church folks I know.
All right.
I think
Don't name no names though. You know
I ain't gonna name no
they
names. I'm
watching.
just saying, some of them that I have encountered, okay,
Right. Right.
on this journey. I think people get it wrong about humility.
Oh,
Right. Like people think a lot of folks have been taught your head down, you're supposed to be low in spirit, you're
yes.
supposed to be meek and mild and quiet. That's not what he meant. That wasn't what he intended.
That's not even a little bit. Not even a little bit. Now he did not intend for you to be cocky, and
Right.
I talk about that. There is a difference between confidence and cockiness,
Yeah. Can
right?
you go on and give us that? Go on and give us that difference.
Oh, you trying to make me drop all the gems? So the difference between confidence and cockiness. Confidence is the assurance and knowing what I can do within my abilities within myself, right? The assurance of the abilities that I have. Cockiness is having that assurance while also putting others down, right? So
Mm,
confidence is I know I can do this, I know I can do this well, and that's the end of the story. Cockiness is I know I can do this well, and not only can I do it well, I can do it better than you.
mm, yeah.
That's the
Yeah.
difference.
Yeah.
He didn't call us to be cocky, he called us to be confident.
Right. Because cockiness actually is divisive.
Correct.
Right? Like that
Correct.
doesn't help us because he also called us to work together. He
Correct.
also called us to love one another.
Correct.
And so if you being cocky, you can't do that. Yeah. And Nikki, let me say, that's one thing I love about you. When you give a compliment, you give a full compliment.
Yeah,
And you have no problems complimenting everybody else in the room
absolutely.
while holding on to all of the confidence that you have about yourself.
Thank you so much.
And I
Thank
love that.
thank you so much. I appreciate that, and that's hard. I had to grow into that. I haven't always been the confidence concierge.
Mhm.
So before, and even at times, I have to catch myself. I struggle with comparison. So I see this person doing this thing, or I see her looking a certain kind of way, or whatever the case may
Mhm.
be, and I don't want to give her props and say, "Man, man, you doing it." I'm gonna
Mhm.
get there too one day where you're doing it. I just love that about you. I had to be comparing in my mind, but again, going back to freedom, there's a freedom when you can just give that.
Yeah.
Sis, you're doing it. Come on, what I be saying? Come on, doctor,
Right.
right? Like,
Yes.
because it's a freedom in that. I'm not holding on to all this extra stuff.
Yes.
It's not mine, and God didn't call me to that.
Mhm.
And maybe He did, but it's not my moment right now.
That part. That part.
Everything in his timing is so perfect
Yeah.
for every single one of us. So I didn't mean to get on here and start preaching or nothing, but that's just
Look, that's where it's going, and that's fine, right? Because you already know I'm missionary Baptist,
right.
so
Okay.
we can preach all the time. I'm totally okay with that. But
And shout out to Janae for putting my verse up there. Well, not my verse, but the
yes,
verse I was talking about up there. She put up there Hebrews 10:35-36. Therefore, do not throw away your confidence, which has great reward, for you have need of endurance, so
mm,
that when you have done the will of God, you may receive what
receive
is
what is
promised.
yes. Now, and
I mean, I couldn't
listen,
say it better than that.
listen, I love connection. I love to connect folks.
Yes.
So you and Janae need to connect anyway. Y'all
Okay,
are in the
so
same
I'm gonna play
place.
a move her after this. Got you, Janae.
Yeah, yeah. That's my sis, who's in your area.
Oh,
Who,
nice.
yeah,
She out
her.
in Dallas.
Yep, she's in Dallas, and her
I'm in
marketing.
Dallas. I eat Rudy's. What's up?
Okay,
Let's
a mess.
go.
But her marketing company is actually marketing Free Before 40.
No,
So
oh,
yeah,
nice. Okay, come
yeah. So
on.
y'all
Okay,
y'all got to get together.
okay.
Yeah,
You'll get a DM, Janae, after this. Don't you even
yeah.
worry. You'll get a DM.
Yes. And I see, so y'all having good conversation over here in the chat. I love it. Keep it going. Kevin said confidence and faith go hand in hand.
Mm-hmm.
Felicia said, I like what you said, that we can free fall with a smile. Yes, that I'm sis, listen, put that in something. Okay. Put that in something because that was powerful. That brought up a whole lot of stuff. So go
Yeah.
on, make sure you write that down so
Okay.
you can hold on to
I
that
got my
one.
pen. I got my pen.
Yes. And Janae said, does not mean being a doormat. Definitely not. And she said, comparison will lead to coveting.
Oh,
And yes. And what I thought about with that,
facts. All facts.
Jonathan McReynolds has a
Yes.
song that says comparison kills.
Ooh.
And I love that song. I love that song
Is that
because
the name of the song? I know Jonathan
yeah,
like his music, not him personally. I wish I did, but
I
his,
know, right? He's one of my
is,
favorites.
yeah, is that a new song? Is that the name of it?
That's an older one. It's on the Make Room.
Girl, I got the make room. Okay, let me go ahead. I'll go back.
Mhm,
hmm
mhm.
I'll go back and listen because I like his song that he talks about people too.
Yes, that's
That's
one of my
the name.
favorites too.
Mhm.
Okay, Janae told me don't say it again till we call. Okay,
Yes,
she
ma'am.
talking to me. She
Got
talking
it.
to you. Don't
Got
say
it.
it
No, I
again till
caught
we
it.
call.
Got it. Got it. Checkmate. Got it.
Look, she is always on me about copywriting some. But we
Perfect.
got you, sis. We got you. So yes. So listen,
Yes.
I'm gonna throw in another question,
Come
but it
on.
goes with oh, I see sis on here. Hey sis. But so you are the confidence concierge. You
Yes.
do all things confidence, right? And you kind of told us a little bit about this already. But like when did you discover your confidence? Like how did this develop?
Okay. So without giving you the full story, because you have to come to one of my workshops for that, signature
Yeah.
workshops, gaining and maintaining confidence. But
Come
without giving you
on. Yeah.
without giving you the full story, because it is a bit lengthy. I did struggle with confidence for over half my life. Biggest time that with the biggest struggle was definitely middle school. I've talked about that a lot, even on my Facebook page in middle school. I was more for my personality and stuff like that. Hence me
Mhm.
talking about watching TV and kind of mimicking things I saw in there. I began to start chipping away at that
Mhm.
when I got into high school and I met my best friend, and we're still best friends to this very day, named Bree. And what started to do that was that we instantly connected because we had our hair the same way and walked around with these combs because apparently that was the thing back then, and our hair would be straight. And we would walk down, we developed this ritual, right?
Mhm.
To where we'll see each other during passing period and we'll literally stop, look, and start to comb each other's hair. And for the first time in a long time, if not ever, here was someone who saw me
Mhm.
and appreciated me for me as me.
Mm.
Just me.
Mm.
Just me.
Mm.
And it's like with each of those hallway rituals, it slowly started to chip away at the old. And it
Yeah.
slowly started to uproot all of those seeds that had been planted over the years.
Mm.
So that started it. Now, there was a little stumbling block in college, and I had to re up and reset afterwards because um but that's definitely what started me on
Yeah.
the confidence track. Someone, another sister, seeing me, loving me, caring for me, just me,
Yeah.
genuine, the real me, not the me I was putting on, but the real,
Mhm. Yeah.
right. And that is what started to break that shell.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's it. It was you. It was in there, right?
Yeah.
Like you are
All along.
fabulous. Yeah, all along because you're fabulous. It comes out now so effortlessly
Yes.
because you are free and
Yes.
because you are the confidence concierge.
Yep.
But that was already in there. It
Yes.
just took somebody, like you said, seeing you as you. That's
And
so
appreciating
powerful.
the me that was
Yeah,
me. And saying
yeah,
it's okay, come on out. Hey, because
yeah.
I see you and I think you're dope. Just you.
Mm,
And I thought she was dope, just her.
yeah. Just
And
that genuineness.
the genuineness, the
Yeah,
authenticness,
yeah.
so yeah, so it started to chip away. It started to chip away at
Oh,
it.
I
And
love
it
it.
really started to make a difference. And to this day, we're still best friends. We still see each other. She got my new niece, shout out
Yeah.
to friend. And yeah, that's still my girl to this day. And to this day, guess what we still do? We might not comb each other's hair every time we see each other because we keep it kind of braided up now, but we
Mhm.
still boost each other all the time.
I love it. I
All the
love
time.
it.
If you ever had a
Yeah.
conversation with us, like her overheard one of our conversations, you'll be like, what is this? Like, what's going on?
I see my sis down here. Tasha said, sounds like us, sis. It
Yeah.
does. It does. We've been best friends since we were 5 years old
Yeah.
and still rocking.
Still
Yeah.
rocking. 22
Yeah.
years later, we still rocking.
Oh, I love it.
Still rocking.
Yeah. And see, and then that rubs off, right? So you
Yeah.
had one person, or and hopefully more people, but that one person made such an impact that
Yes.
you were like, oh wait, I can just be me.
I could just be me. I
And
can
that's
just
and
be.
that's enough.
Yep. Yep.
That's really
Another person was my grandmother on my dad's
mhm,
side. She, that lady was amazing. And she, same thing. And grannies always see it, but sometimes when it's family, it takes a little longer to see that they see it,
mhm,
But every time she would just, I don't know, she would just talk to me and it was just
mhm,
talking to me about
mhm,
me and what's going on with me. And we would talk and she would just talk to me like almost like we were girlfriends and girl, do this is this. And I mean, it was just really refreshing. And so, yeah, that was my other best friend. That was my first best friend, I guess I could say. Yeah,
mhm,
so she was awesome. And so that was another person. So I was starting to get it on the home front. I was
mhm,
starting to get at home. And my granny was the one who actually talked about me kind of freely giving compliments, who kind of started showing me how to do that. Cause she'd be
mhm,
like, oh my gosh, Nikki, like you speak so well and you're so articulate and you don't use no well now I just did, but she was like, you don't use no ums or likes or nothing. Like and she would just freely give me these compliments. Where
mm.
other people were freely giving me like digs, she would freely give me these compliments all the time.
Wow. Wow.
Free, just freely, like you do this so well and you're so great at this. And oh, Nikki, that you can kind of sing a little bit. I'm like, Granny, I don't know. And right now my voice is really hoarse, but she would just freely give it. And so it's
Yeah.
kind of funny. I never really even put two and two together till you said that tonight, and I'm thinking about it. But she would do that, and so that helped because again, she's noticing things that I either barely noticed about myself or I did, but didn't notice other people appreciating it. So I started to hide it. Whereas
Mhm.
my mentor, Dr. G, would say I started to dim that light.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
And so you just roll right on into my next question, right? So you work with the what I call the babies, and that was
yeah,
something else that we bonded on because we love the babies.
love them.
Um,
They
but
crazy, but I love them.
they, right, both of those things are true
Cool,
at the
cool,
same time. But I think that now hearing that part of your story, I
cool.
understand why you push so hard for these kids to have a good sense of self and a good sense of confidence at
Yes,
an earlier age.
yes,
Right. It's kind of the same with me doing therapy. Like I'll tell folks, yeah, I can do therapy with adults. I've seen people as old as 80 years old in therapy.
right,
I prefer the kids or the babies, as I call them, because
right.
if we can get to them early, they
Yes,
will have the skills and they will have the tools and the resources they need once they
yes,
become an adult and they're more set in their ways, right? And it's harder
1,000%.
to change.
It's so much harder to break that shell once
Yeah,
you're older.
yeah,
Not impossible, but a lot harder.
yeah,
Versus if I can get you where you're open and you're still sponging and receiving all the things now,
mhm,
it's just so much better.
yeah. Now, tell me a little bit more, tell us a little bit more about how you are developing confidence in these kids.
So the way I develop confidence in the kids is number one, I give them space to be human. I see a lot of times, like especially my professional education, we're about they're about, let me be very clear, they are about the bottom line and the four-letter word I hate, I call it the other cuss word, data,
Mhm.
and all these things. And it is necessary. I'm not saying these things aren't necessary. Um, but how is that playing into them? Um,
Mhm.
the other day, I was doing makeup time, like to do makeup work in my class, and students, I said, hey, if you're good with me, check your other classes. If you have anything less than an 80, you need to be seeing what you need to do to make it up. And a kid was like, why do we have to, if 70 something is passing, why I have to get 80? I
Mm.
said, he said, why you care if we get an 80? I said, because I'm a holistic teacher and I care about your entire being, not just
Mm.
my class or not just this. So I care about you as a whole. And I want to
Mm.
make sure that you're successful in all things. And I was like, yeah, that was good. And I meant it though, right? And I
Yes.
meant it. So that's what I would say I do for the kids to build their confidence.
Mm.
I built them up holistically, starting from the inside to out, right? And then I give them space, number one, to be human. These are
Mm.
little people, especially I took seventh graders. They're 12 and 13, 14. These are little people with full personalities and
Yeah.
moments and feelings and all this kind of stuff.
And
And it's
hormones,
hormone, oh my gosh, the hormones. And
all
so
the
as
hormones.
long as they are displaying their emotions respectfully, right?
Mhm.
Let me give you the space to feel what you feel.
Yeah.
And then I got this acronym. This is something that I do naturally, but I saw this acronym and I want to give the name right because I don't want nobody coming for me. Um, from I wrote it down from the Strengthening Families program, Dr. Carol Comfort, Dr.
Okay.
Carol Comfort, put an acronym to what I do. So the number two thing that I do is I lead with love, and this
Mm.
love is LUV. So
Okay.
when it comes to the kids, I listen. I try to understand their point of view and where they're coming from. I
Mhm.
validate their feelings, right? I validate their feelings. And then finally, this part isn't in there, but finally, I go ahead and if necessary, I correct. Okay. Hey, I heard what you're saying. Okay. I understand why you did that. That makes sense to be upset about that. But hey, maybe there's a better way we could have responded to the situation.
Mhm.
You have
Yes.
every right to feel the way you feel, but let's work on how we respond to situations because this isn't the correct response to get the results that you desire.
Yeah. Yeah,
Uh,
definitely.
That's that starts to build it up because now, okay, here's somebody who, again, going back to this, who sees me. They are
Mhm.
understanding what I'm saying. So now I ain't got to act such a fool to be
Right.
seen. I can just talk.
Right. Because
I
somebody hears me.
Somebody hears me. I can do this.
Yeah.
And now I can have the confidence to do that. Now I can bring that out. I don't allow kids to be negative in my classroom or in the hallways. If somebody is using words like, even if it's towards themselves, like dumb, stupid, ugly, whatever, we correct that.
Mhm.
Lord help you if you use it towards somebody else. Now you finna pump that person up. You got to give them like three compliments and genuinely. Like,
Oh, I love it.
yeah, like so we don't why would there's too many haters in the world. Why would you say bad things about yourself?
Mm.
And if you don't feel
Mhm.
that way about yourself, let's work on it, but let's not talk about that. Let's talk
Mhm.
about the other things that we are doing well.
Yeah. And Nikki, we talk about this when I'm telling you about my experiences and you telling me
Yes.
about school.
Yes.
When the kids come in, sometimes their self-esteem is so
Mhm.
low. There
Oh my
is
gosh.
no confidence there, right?
None.
And so like I tell them, okay, you can dislike this about you can dislike your hair, you can dislike,
Correct.
whatever. Let's do something about it.
Right.
Let's not sit in that.
Right. Because
Yeah.
sometimes mama just didn't braid us up that week, right? She
Mhm.
she was tired, and when she went to
Yeah.
braid us up, it just didn't look right. So it's okay. We don't have to
Yeah.
like the style this week. It's okay, but we don't have to down ourselves about it.
Right.
Because
Right.
there's so many other things that are well. I have a girl right now to where she comes to me now and she'll go, because first time you mentioned me, she was like, oh, all this negative stuff. I said, now tell me something positive. Thank you
Mhm.
for sharing that part. Now tell me something positive. So now when she sees me, she goes, okay, Miss Jordan, I got two negatives, but guess what? I also got two positives.
Okay.
Perfect. Which one you want to give me first, right?
Mm.
Because it's okay for you to have these other feelings, but now let's not stay there. Let's
Yeah.
go to the positives because there's always something
Yeah.
positive to be said.
Yeah. And Nikki, that works for adults too.
Yeah.
It's like it's so many adults that need that exact same message because
Yes.
we'll get stuck and we'll stay there. And a lot of times, what I'm trying to tell parents, our kids see that. They see how we talk
Yes.
about ourselves.
Yes.
They see how we get stuck on, and I'm not going to say small things. They might be small, they might not be, but we
Right.
get stuck on the negative things. And
Hmm.
kids are like, okay, even if they don't say it out of their mouth, they are taking that in and they're like, oh, this is how I operate in life. This is how I maneuver through life.
Right.
And it's
And
not.
Dr. Cece, speaking of small things, that's another thing I don't do. I don't try to diminish their world because I feel like
Mhm.
mine's is so much bigger. Like,
Mm.
yes, I have bills and I have a husband and I have
Mhm.
this and I have that and I have them paperwork I got to fill out, but this is their whole world right now. And
Yep.
so this is what's important to them. So therefore, you come to me for this problem that I feel like is quite simple. I'm not going to diminish that and be like, "Girl, psh, that's nothing." Like, okay,
Mm.
so this is bothering you. Why is it bothering you so much?
Yeah.
This is going
Yeah.
on. Okay. Oh, that's exciting. There, I have a student. She's so excited to always tell me about her. This might make her sound bad. Hopefully not. But like her new crush. She's like, okay, Miss Jordan. So the old one, he gone, right? He's gone. But
Mhm.
there's no one, and he looks like this, and he did this, and I want you to meet him at lunch, and it's like that's our world right now.
And listen,
That's
and
our world.
that's big. That's big. I
Mm.
tell parents this way you fell in love, right? That's what they're feeling on their level right now. And so it's not fair for us to even really call it puppy love. You know how folks used to say, "Oh, that's
Right?
just puppy love." It's not puppy love to them,
It's not.
right?
It's
And perspective, in a lot of cases, perspective is reality. And so
perspective.
you have to understand they've been on this earth 14 years. They've been on this earth 15 years, right? Yes,
Right.
they don't have the responsibilities that we have, so they don't have those issues, but their stuff is just as real to them.
It's just
And
real,
yeah,
and
and
they
it can
feel
come
it
with real
probably even more
consequences.
intensely because of how
Yeah.
the hormones. Yeah.
Ooh, child, them hormones. Yeah,
They'll get
them hormones. We're not even gonna talk about how many times I done had to talk about sex this week. Them hormones. Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that
Um,
matters.
and the
Oh,
last
yeah.
thing I do is I
Oh, go
support
ahead.
them. I support them
Mhm.
in their stuff. So they do extracurricular activities. It doesn't matter what it is. If you're in football, if you're in band, if you are in volleyball, that's part of the reason I'm hoarse right now. I went to the volleyball game and yelled my entire throat
Yeah.
off. So whatever it is that
And
they're
I know you did. I know you did just
my
that.
entire throat, because I tell them when I come to your stuff, I am your after your parents, I'm your number one fan. And if your parents aren't there, I'm your number one and your number two fan. You know
I
what I'm
love it.
saying?
I
Because
love
I'm there to cheer for you. I'm there to support you, and
it.
because this is the thing that you really care about. You don't care about math. You care about this court. You care about band. Even when
Mhm.
I show up to the band rehearsal, I don't yell while they're playing, but as soon as they're done, they know I'm there. I'm like, yeah, like
I love it.
so yeah, I support them. So that's how I build up the confidence.
I love it. I love listen, I've told you this before, right? In private. If my patients had teachers like you all the time, because they do, right? There are some amazing teachers out there.
Absolutely, 100%.
And usually when we're in therapy, we're talking about the ones that's not so amazing. And for whatever reason, right? Maybe they don't understand where the kids are coming from. They've been doing this for a long time, they tired, whatever it might be. But when my kids come in and they tell me about a teacher like you
Yeah,
that's pouring into them, I'm like, oh, bet I got somebody else that's on your team. I have
man,
identified, they have identified,
100%.
right, and shown me that there's somebody else in their corner. And it
Yes,
is so needed for these kids. Now,
100%.
I don't want to miss our comments over here. So one,
Okay.
I want to drop in the chat. You said lead with love, LUV, listen, understand, and validate, right?
Yes, and I
Okay.
wish I made that up myself because that's something that I do. But that acronym, I say lead with
Uh-huh.
love, but the LUV acronym, I did get that from Dr. Carol Comfort from the
Spell
Strength Families.
her last name.
Comfort is K. Yeah, hold on, I'm clicking on it right now because I typed it up.
Okay.
KUM as in mother, P is
Uh-huh.
in Paul, F is in father, E-R.
Gotcha. Okay, I'm just dropping that in the chat so people
Yeah,
can
and
keep in
Carol is with a K
tune.
too. Carol is with a K.
Uh-oh. So I spelled her first name wrong.
It's
Sorry,
okay.
Dr. But yes, I just want to make sure I get that in there. Couple of
Yes.
things. So Janae said, thank you for sharing your story. It just spoke a little life
Absolutely.
into my 13-year-old.
Oh,
Yeah.
amazing. I'm so
And sis, that's
glad.
what you do. Like that is what you do when you speak, when you start telling your story, when you start talking about your work. I have seen it, right? Because I've
Yeah.
been in some of your workshops. Like
Yeah.
you are speaking life into these kids, and I love it because you know those are my favorite people,
Yeah.
the little ones. They're my
I love my
favorite.
babies. They're so great. Because
Yeah, yeah.
they're so them too. And it's
Right.
yeah.
And that's the part I love. They so them.
Yes, they're so
Right.
them. Like you don't have to
Yeah.
really question too much. You know what I mean?
Mm-mm, mm-mm. And
Yeah.
they're going to be them like and you know I talk about this a little bit in my magic workshop. We
Yeah.
actually kind of learn, and you said this earlier, you kind of learn how to pull back from being you based off of feedback that you've gotten,
Yep.
based off of expectations of others, based off
Yes.
of really, you know, what you see in the environment. You pull back. But we say, think about a baby. We start off being total hams, right? Knowing that we are awesome and knowing that we are the center of
Correct.
somebody's attention.
Correct.
And then, you know, we start to dim our light based off of things that happen, you know,
Learned
in our
behavior, stuff like
yeah,
that.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
definitely. Yeah. So my sister Nisi said, yes, we will get stuck in the negative. Definitely, definitely. And me and Nisi talk about that a lot,
Yeah.
how it we have to be intentional about
Yes.
being positive. We have to be intentional about what we speak and what we think. Right.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely. So you kind of already answered this question, but I'm gonna ask it anyway, just in case you have something else for them. I want to be
Okay.
explicit. What would you recommend that parents, aunts, uncles, teachers, caregivers,
Mhm.
whoever working and being around these babies, as we call them, what
Yes.
can they do or not do to help our kids build confidence?
Give them room to be them.
Mhm,
Give them room to be them. And I know a lot of times we're saying, well, we do now with respect, right? Because nobody has a willing relationship with someone that they don't respect, right?
mhm,
So respect has to be established first, but you've already done that part. Mom, aunt, uncle, grandparents, like
mhm.
y'all have already done that part. So now they're starting to sprout their wings. Give them room to show their personality respectfully, and then do the love, listen, understand, validate, understand that just they might not handle it the way you would handle it, but that
Mhm.
doesn't mean that they didn't handle it.
Mm.
So I'm gonna say that again.
Yeah, say that one more time. Mhm. Yeah.
They might not handle it the way you would handle it, but that doesn't mean that they didn't handle it.
Mm.
So a perfect
Mhm.
example of that, and I'll be super quick. I was at an event a few weeks ago, probably about a month or so ago, and I was talking to a parent, and she was saying how she was kind of upset because her daughter is normally like a straight A student, but lately kind of been dropping the grades been dropping to a B. After some discussion, figure out what's going on. She's the daughter let the mom know that hey, in this particular class, for whatever reason, if you get too high of a grade, the kids will like basically get on you, possibly beat you
Mhm.
up, all this kind of stuff, because
Wow.
basically you messing up the curve, right? They don't want to do
Yeah.
nothing. The grades are graded on the curve. So if you mess
Right.
up the curve, now we finna come for you. Right. So the daughter was starting, she didn't lower herself to where she was failing, but she lowered it to where she wasn't messing up the curve as bad.
Mhm.
So she was still good, decent grades, but not as good as she could get. And so the mom was upset because she wanted her to do her. She wanted her to, we have the fight, flight,
Right.
or fawn. Wait, fight, flight, fawn. What's the fourth one? Freeze,
Mm.
freeze,
Yeah. Freeze.
freeze. So, and the mom is fight, right? So she wanted her to be like, no, not like physically, but like stand up for yourself, all this kind of stuff. And the daughter was like, I handled it though, but I
Right.
handled it. And what I had to get the
Mhm.
mom to see was, Mom, you are not there all day long with her. So even if she tells you, because mom's like, she could just tell me what happened. Let's go into her mindset. Yes, I could tell you what happened, but by that time I already got my behind whooped.
Right. And it's been a whole day.
It's been a whole day. By the time I get to you to let you know what happened, the damage has already been done.
Mm-hmm.
So I am protecting myself from
Mm-hmm.
this in this moment by doing this. So I was telling mom, don't, she did handle it. She
Mm-hmm.
just didn't handle it the way you would handle it. Now, what we need to get her to see, so let's give her credit for handling it and
Yeah.
protecting herself. But now let's also encourage her on how to handle it without minimizing herself.
Yes. Right. Because we
Right?
don't. Yeah, we don't want her to dim her light.
We don't
Just
want her to dim her light.
yeah.
But we can't look gloss over the fact that
Right.
she didn't take care of it in her own way.
And her solution really wasn't that bad.
It really wasn't that bad. It wasn't like she started failing the class. She just got started getting B's.
What- yeah, so I often have a conversation with parents in therapy about the different types of intelligence and what are we teaching them, right? With
Right.
this whole grading system. So everybody is like, oh, well, you got a B, you didn't get an A. Did they retain the information?
Correct.
Because I'll take a kid that retained the information with a B over a kid that learned how to regurgitate the information and got an A.
Right.
All right, because
Right.
really, what are we trying to do? Do we
Right.
want them to know it, or do we want it to just look like they know it? Because
Which
those
one?
things, right? Those things are different. And so I
Very.
have to tell kids when parents are on you about grades, they're talking about effort. If we can show them that you actually did put forth the effort, the grade most times really don't matter as much.
Correct. And in this situation, yes, the mom knew she had more potential, but sometimes we get so laser focused on one part of it is that, well,
Yep.
I want you to do well and nobody's going to do this. And again,
Mhm.
we go off of our own experiences. This is how I would handle it instead of
Mhm.
recognizing what's happening in their experience
Mhm. Yeah.
and then encouraging through their experience. It's just like any good mentor. The mentor doesn't try to duplicate them. The
Right.
mentor tries to make you the best you can be,
Yep. But not the best many them.
not the best mini me. I'm gonna
Yeah.
make you be the best you could be. So the way you do it, I might not do it that way. I have a teacher that I mentored last year. She is great at what I like to call organized chaos, to where everybody's up, kind of doing something going around the room. It drives me bonkers, but she's great at it. So anytime she needed advice, I would advise her in that. Okay, this is what you want the outcome to be. Okay, this is probably a good way to get that. I didn't say, oh no, I would have everybody sitting down because the child, I don't like that, and you probably ain't gonna like
Mhm.
that either. No, that's her thing.
Yeah.
So let
Mm,
me make that be the best possible for you,
mm. And
and
that's
that's what parents and stuff can do too.
right. And I love that. I think that goes back to this whole like, let's not judge them for
Correct.
being where they are. Let's accept, and you keep saying like, let them be who they are.
Let
Let's
them be
accept
human.
who they are, and then encourage and build up.
Correct. Correct. Because it's not that we say, okay, I accept you, and I'm never gonna say anything. No, love is correction, right? We
Mhm.
still correct, we still build, but let's not also minimize what's already there.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, and they have to know that you love them first, right? Like
Correct.
you have to lay that foundation so that you can then come back and build up and correct and do all those awesome things.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Nisi said grade shaming. Yeah, girl, grade shaming is a whole thing, which is crazy to me.
a
But
whole
yeah.
thing.
I
Yeah.
used to want to cheat off the people to making the A's, but I guess they do it differently this way. But I ain't say that.
But so going back to about the confidence, right? And going
Right,
like you might have been very confident in like, oh, I know my abilities. I'm just not doing well in this class. Hey,
right,
so and so, can you help me out? But
right.
somebody that doesn't have that confidence, what are they doing? They trying to bring you down to where they think they are
Correct.
instead of being like, oh wow, you're so smart. Can you help me out?
Excuse me. Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. So your friend came in here to tell me that we are running out of time.
Okay, thank you,
So,
friend. Thank
look,
you.
he's the timekeeper.
Did he give you the
So,
10 minute, like the probably the
look,
2 minute
he
warning? The
did the
2 minute.
watch thing. He was like,
I love
mhm.
it. I love it.
So we are going to wrap up. But sis, thank you so much for coming on and talking about all things confidence and how
Absolutely.
confidence links to freedom because it does. Yes. And giving us our sermon for the night. I appreciate that. I
Well, it wouldn't be
appreciate
me if
that.
there wasn't a little sermonette in there. So,
Yes. Look, it
yes,
wouldn't be right if we didn't get a little sermonette.
yes, just a
Yeah.
little one, just a little one.
Yes. So, sis, tell everybody where they can find y'all. If you are not following Nikki, the Confidence Concierge, you should be. She is dropping gems all the time, and she's doing workshops. She has a whole program out here. So I'm gonna stop talking. I'm gonna let her tell y'all.
Okay, thank you so much for my segue. You did
Yeah.
so well with that. So you can find me on platforms on Instagram, which is Confidence at Any Size. That's my business, Confidence at Any Size. On Facebook, you could just follow me here at Niki Jordan or at the Confidence Concierge here on Facebook. And I am doing right now in the Dallas area, I have monthly meetings. I have partnered with a great nonprofit foundation called Create Her, and we're doing monthly meetings. Every month we meet at a location in Dallas to where we pour these different gems, as Dr. CC says, into them. Last month or excuse me, this month, just this past weekend, we talked about resolving conflicts. This next month coming up, we're going to be talking about relationships and how to have healthy
Yeah.
relationships, because they are having them. They are having relationships. So let's talk about the healthy way to have that relationship,
Yeah.
social media and things like that. So this is what I do. I love it. My mentoring program is called Cause You're Worth It. It is my goal. It is my mission. It is my passion to get this out there into different other programs, organizations, and definitely within the schools to reach the kids directly so that they have the tools that they need to deal with life's day-to-day battles on campus and at home. Because I always say home affects campus, campus affects home. There is no separation of the two. So if you're interested in having your girl come to one of the monthly meetings, I don't know if I could drop it in the chat, but I'll tell you what it
Yeah.
is, Dr. CC. It's tinyurl.com backslash cause monthly. That's CAAS monthly. So tinyurl.com backslash cause monthly. And any other
Okay.
workshops will be posted soon.
All right. And listen, y'all, let me just tell you. So I dropped it in the chat, but I'm gonna also make sure that once we are finished tonight, that we go back and drop it because I think this only goes to Heart and Soul, what I'm
Okay.
dropping in the chat, but we'll make sure it's on each one of them. It's on LinkedIn and
Okay.
it's on my Facebook live as well.
Perfect.
But y'all, let me just say, I had the privilege of viewing and reviewing the cause program. Y'all, it's
Yes.
amazing. It needs to be in every single school. It is amazing. So, if y'all have the opportunity to come to a workshop with the Confidence Concierge or the monthly meetings, I already know those are amazing and going to continue to be amazing. If
Yes.
y'all have the any type of opportunity to get with Nikki, do it. Do it. She
Please
is
do.
awesome. She is
And don't
awesome.
forget to register for the free before 40
Yes.
conference.
Yep. So thank you for my segue.
Hey, gotcha,
So,
girl.
yeah. So y'all, you all know this is why we're doing the Freedom Edition. We are getting ready for Free Before 40. Y'all, it's happening on Sunday, October 16th. 2022 in the Baltimore area. If you can make it, car, plane, train, whatever, y'all come on and see me. So many of my folks are coming from Texas and from Alabama and Georgia. So I'm in Jersey. Like I got people coming from everywhere, and I'm so excited. South Carolina, because Sherlonda's gonna be here. So yeah, so excited to see everybody. Oh, there is a deadline coming up for the early bird tickets.
Okay.
So Saturday is the deadline if you need to get a hotel room at the Embassy Suites. That's the deadline for our discount, the free before 40 discount. And Friday, this Friday is the deadline for the early bird tickets. And you can get those on Eventbrite. I will drop all the links. You all can probably find them all over my page as well. But yes, please come. If you can't come and you still want to support, drop me a DM. Let me know. I will get the ticket to a very deserving person who would like to be there. So, with that, y'all, we are going to wrap up for tonight. Nikki, thank you again so much for being here.
No,
I
thank you
so
for having
enjoyed
me.
it.
This was amazing.
Yes, and we will have to do it again,
For
definitely.
sure.
Yeah, but to everybody out there that watches Dr. CC says, meet me back here. I'm going to say next week, but I'll let you know because I am actually speaking for a wellness virtual conference next
Come on,
Wednesday.
girl.
Yes,
Yeah.
And so that's on my page, but I will also be dropping the flyer for that. And so that will be a little bit before Dr. Cece says. So I will see if I can do that and then jump on, because y'all know I be missing y'all when I don't do Dr. Cece says. So we'll see. We'll see. But just be looking out for the flyers and the announcement. And with that, y'all have an amazing night. Everybody be blessed and stay safe.
Bye.